Hello everybody, I'm going to be attempting the DLC, but I can't die. The rules are simple. I start off on regular mode. I start on a completed save file. I have to beat all the bosses on regular mode, ending with Chef Saltbaker. If I die, I gotta restart. So let's get into it. Starting off the challenge, we have Glumstone the Giant. Glumstone the Giant is one of the easier bosses in the DLC, and I've completed it on expert with ease. It's a lot more stressful playing without dying, but since he's the first boss of the challenge and I'm playing with a completed save file, I can just restart like nothing ever happened. I did end up changing my starting boss from Glumstone the Giant to Esther Winchester because in my opinion, Esther is by far the hardest boss in the DLC. Glumstone was a breeze, but we must turn down the heat for this next boss. Did you get the joke? Because Mortimer Freeze is the next boss. He's by far the easiest boss in the DLC. He's a complete joke compared to other bosses like Howling Aces and Esther Winchester. The only hard attacks, which aren't even that hard, are the popsicles and the buckets. Popsicles are just incredibly annoying when you're trying to dodge the enormous snowman, and then buckets split off into 3 crescent moons, making it mildly hard to dodge, not that hard. Overall, it's a very easy fight. We're on to the dogs.
Yeah! Okay, that was pretty easy.
The dogs are easy until the last phase. The last phase just makes the screen tilt around very frequently and it gets very annoying. Some people tilt their head around to match the screen, but I personally think it's harder to do that than regularly. I also accidentally got the secret phase while I was playing, which I'll show you right now.
Uh-oh! I did not do that on purpose. Oh.
If you didn't know, to get the secret phase, you have to hit all 4 minions in the second phase until their smoke turns gray around them, and it'll activate the secret phase. I ended up dying because I used the Divine Relic instead of Miss Chalice, but besides that, it wasn't too hard. Now, time for the hardest boss in the DLC, Esther Winchester. If you don't think Esther is the hardest boss in the DLC, you're either very good at the game and stink at like Moonshine Mob or something, or you're just lying. It's super difficult to maneuver around all the little death traps in the way, and sometimes it's impossible to hit her. Even after all my struggles, I ended up getting an A+ rank by accident, which is pretty funny. The first phase is insanely difficult because it's just a bullet barrage. Second phase is pretty easy, but then the third phase steps it up a notch. It's like Hildeberg's second phase, except with extra projectiles you have to dodge. It's still incredibly easy. The last phase is probably the easiest since there isn't much to dodge. I would usually use the Divine Relic, so it was useful to get parries, therefore extra hearts, but it was the end of the boss, so it wasn't very useful. Now, on the last one I forgot to mention, Moonshine Mob.
Let's go! I was about to die.
Moonshine Mob is very easy. It's by far my favorite because of its funny voice lines and its fake knockout screen. It's also very fun and engaging gameplay. Along with that, it is very easy gameplay that never gets old. It revives one of my favorite unused boss designs and its gimmick. It was a breeze to pass by, but it was a fun one. With that one all cleared up, it's time for the final boss of the video, Chef Saltbaker.
Yes, okay. That is a pretty funny knockout screen though.
A brawl is surely brewing. You're up.
Alright, he didn't put the lines yet. No! This is very bad. No! Yeah, keep doing the line attacks. No, not the sugar cubes. The lines. Yes! What? It didn't let me use my super. Oh. No!
Yeah, you could tell I wasn't happy. I just lost like a half hour of work there. Chef Saltbaker is the hardest boss in the DLC, at least in other people's eyes. Unlike many other bosses, once you beat Chef Saltbaker, he's pretty easy. It was very stressful since he had to be the last boss according to the rules, but other than that, he was pretty easy for the last boss of the DLC. I did have some devastating fails on the second and last phase, and those were pretty sad. I was able to quickly brush off those fails though and keep going to finally beat the final boss of the challenge, Chef Saltbaker.
Let's go! Let's go! Wait, you did the DLC? DLC without dying. Let's go!
How long does that record? Oh, an hour. If you don't get the F-Blank, you're going to get smacked.
I didn't even do it on Instagram. Hey! That's actually a new record. That's crazy. Mugman! Thank goodness you're okay. Uh-oh, stinky.
Yes, hoodwink.
Oh!
If you guys want to see more content like this, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you sometime soon.